these lovely ladies the last few years. And it's my honor and privilege to introduce our founder, and she's also a Vice President of Emergent Population and Community Relations with Metro Credit Union, my friend, Saratin Rizzuto. I'm going to just grab this because I'm comfortable holding it. Thank you all for coming. It's happy to see so many familiar faces and new faces supporting us this year. This would not have been possible, first and foremost, without any of you, without our committee, or without our sponsors. So how about a round of applause for Literacy Day was founded to create awareness about the importance of reading in higher education. We highlight and raise unrestricted funds for nonprofit organizations doing this work. We recognize the organization and leaders that go above and beyond to elevate, improve, promote, and increase access to literacy in higher education. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. We have an excellent program ahead of you. So write checks, donate, and enjoy the program. Have a great evening. So I'm so lucky to have the honor and privilege to introduce our mayor, Jared Nicholson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jared Nicholson. I'm the mayor of Lynn, and it's really my honor on behalf of the city of Lynn to extend our deepest and most heartfelt congratulations to the honorees tonight at Celebrate Literacy. Congratulations. On behalf of the city, I would also like to thank the committee here, the organizers of Celebrate Literacy, for your tremendous work. You have a fantastic group of leaders and individuals here that organize this event and that put a spotlight on some of the amazing work that happens in our city. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to learn more and to be able to reflect on the wonderful leadership and effort and achievement that happens all throughout the year in all corners of the city. And we're so grateful for you putting in the work to create moments like this for us to have that reflection and have that inspiration. Thank you so much. Also, of course, I'd like to thank the sponsors to make this event possible, and of course, all of you for being here and for celebrating with us, for celebrating literacy. We are in a really exciting moment in the city right now. This is always a great time of year because the excitement is building heading into the first day of school. And I could feel it. I was at an elementary school today at a back-to-school event. You see in the kids' faces and the families' faces and the educators' faces, we are all excited to get to work. And it's a particularly exciting time in Lynn. We have a tremendous opportunity. The investment we're making in hiring teachers and special education educators and English language learner educators and social workers and the investments we're making in retaining and professional development and all the wonderful work that's happening in the Lynn Public Schools. We're lucky we're also joined tonight by our superintendent, new superintendent, Deb Ruggiero. So it is a really exciting time. It's also one that we're all paying close attention to because it's a time of transition. As you all know, our previous superintendent had moved on to another role, and I think that these moments of opportunity, of transition, are an opportunity for us to look within and think about where we're going, what we're doing. And nights like this just remind me of the tremendous team across the city we have in the city of Lynn that cares deeply about educating the students in Lynn. And when in these moments when we think about where we're going to go next, we should remind ourselves that this team that we have working for the betterment of our students is huge and it's special, and I'm so grateful that all of you are a part of it. Thank you so much to Celebrate Literacy for your work. Congratulations again to all of you.
recipients to come talk to us to give us an update and all the advancements that they have done. So I'd like to introduce Linda Hall. She is the Literacy Coordinator for Girls Inc.
At Girls Inc., we cannot be more grateful to have received the annual Excellence in Literacy Leadership Award last year. Receiving this award has allowed us to transform our site with resources that make it a child-friendly and joyful space for our girls to expand their literacy skills. The pandemic hit us hard. To keep our girls safe, we had to create 6-foot distances between children, which translated to rooms with a lot of tables in them. Many of our interactive toys and our communal spaces were dismantled and many things thrown away because if you remember, we really at the time did not know how COVID was spread. Our site stopped looking like a place for children. But all this has changed. When the extreme restrictions around COVID were lifted, we were able to use the monetary resources provided by the award to redesign play spaces and learning spaces. This is what we've done. We have bought numerous quality multicultural books for our library. And we have taken the old office-looking bookshelves out of our library and put in beautiful wooden ones that are very child-friendly. We've created imaginary play spaces with doll houses and wooden kitchens and friendly reading nooks that have little mini couches and pillows so kids want to be there and they want to interact, talk with each other. We've purchased literacy games. We have games that are fun to play and they reinforce reading skills like reading comprehension, cause and effect, rhyming, letter and sound identification. We have selected an exceptional set of easy readers for our emergent readers that the children read to our volunteers. And we've acquired special furniture for our older girls to promote reading and quality dialogue. And we even have, okay, takes a minute here, letter puppets. Now we have to imagine this is dentist, and look, it's a Girls Inc. girl, all grown up and professional, right? All of these resources are extraordinary, and they promote skills in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Your vision in creating a community support for literacy has been actualized at Girls Inc. You are making the difference in the lives of many girls, many girls. So thank you to the Celebrate Literacy Day team and board. Thank you to all of you in this room because you donate, and it makes a huge difference. And we also want to congratulate this year's winner, the REAL program. I trust you will find this resource, this gift, absolutely transformative. Thank you. I have the honor of introducing you to Jan Plord. Can you come on up, Jan? Leadership Award.
Transformative. Wow. That's a big word. So first of all, you all should clap for yourselves. Because you all here are here because you understand what literacy is and how important it is for kids and for yourselves. I mean, you can pick up your program. Just pick up your program. Read that first part of the program. What does it say?
11.
Coco was that kid in the class, wasn't he? And now he's where? Yeah. No. So truly, it is transformative, to use Linda's words, that you can read, and it makes a huge difference in everybody's lives. And for people who have learned to read in another language, that's another whole huge, huge transformation. So if you are one of those people, please clap your hands, because there's, thank you. And you learn a new alphabet, that's another language, so here we are, right? So I just wanted to say thank you so much for this incredible group of women. By the way, why is it all women doing literacy? You know the answer to that. I do. I know who that voice is. And I know who that voice is. Oh, there we are. We're changing that next year, everyone. So some of you guys might be stepping up to this. So stepping up and leaning in is what these women do all day long in their jobs, in their hobbies, in their everyday life. They step up and lean in, and I can't tell you, I have learned so much from the opportunity to work with these women in the last few months, and I really do appreciate the opportunity here. So you really don't need to hear from me. I just want to say that I am grateful for all of you, and that I am also grateful for the people who wanted to be here but can't because of other things in their lives, or COVID being a high anxiety piece. So I just wanted to say, for all of you who have people that you are taking care of, I applaud you for that as well, but know that they all want to be where you are tonight, because they want to be where you get to find all your joy. So. Speaking of joy, my young pretend Dominican daughter, Raisa Ferreras, board member, ESL teacher at the Salt and Stall School. That's her work family. And so I'd like Raisa to come up and say a few words, please.
To some of the parents and any person from the city of Lynn or whoever that calls me. So I've been part of the Rio program for about like 7 years now, and I'm still counting because, you know, Jan once told me, once you're in, you can't just get out. When I was 14 years old, so that makes me a former English learner, which means that now I teach adults and kids to learn how to speak English, which is awesome. So what I can say is that what I really do at the Rio program, I create a support system to help the families navigate a new life in country with confidence. And that's what I try to do. Teaching English has been amazing. It's a really rewarding job, and if you're a teacher, I'm sure you know, but if you don't know, yes, it is rewarding. Because the same way that my teachers, when I was learning English, helped me, that's the same thing I want to do to my students and for the parents that I work with. And you know what's admirable? Those parents that show up every time, and they show up, you know, every Wednesday or every Thursday, whenever I make the class, and they show up, and they're doing that because they want to help their kids, you know, and they want to better themselves to support their kids, and that is admirable. This is an event, obviously we want you to give and give and keep on giving. So I'm going to use a quote from the greatest, Martin Luther King Jr., and it states, "Somewhere along the way, we must learn that there is nothing greater than to do something for others." Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, all right. That's all right. We're good.
So the next section of our program, I'm going to introduce someone who's a lot younger than me, but I admire her greatly. Her name is Mickey Wilson. She is a team member of the Celebrate Literacy Day Planning Committee, and she is the founder and CEO of Dot Connector Consultant. Mickey.
Hi. So what am I here to do? I have a couple of jobs. That's all right. So I have many things I want to do, but first and foremost, thank you all again for being here, as being on the committee. It really takes a village to raise each and every child, which becomes an adult in it. So my privilege is to recognize our sponsors for their generous contributions this evening. And for brevity, I'm actually going to run through this wonderful list. You can find it posted throughout the event. And then I'm going to recognize particularly our host sponsors this evening, our Metro Credit Union. We'll have a couple of speakers in one moment, so you can hold your applause till the end. Metro Credit Union, North Shore Community Baptist Church, and Breckenridge Capital Advisors are our host sponsors for tonight, and we thank you so much for sponsoring and supporting this event. Other sponsors I'd like to include, who also sponsored this event, are Eastern Bank, Cummings Foundation, the Bookshop of Beverly Farms, Cataldo Ambulance Service, Rockland Trust, St. Jean's Credit Union, Kettle Cuisine, North Shore Community College, Lynn Housing Authority and Neighborhood Development, Brotherhood Credit Union, Essex County Community Foundation, and Michael Gomez. Can we please give our sponsors? So to share a few words, I'd like to first introduce Charlene Bauer of Metro Credit Union. All right.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you. This is truly one of our favorite events each year, Celebrate Literacy. I believe we're celebrating the 11th year this year, and seeing all the past recipients is truly an honor. I want to thank the committee for doing such a phenomenal job, and especially Diana Moreno, who I get the privilege of working with every day, along with Sarah Team, for chairing the event. So great job. Thank you very much. Metro is honored to sponsor this every year. We believe in literacy. We believe literacy advances individuals. and we will do everything we can in our power to help aid that cause. So congratulations to everybody here, and thank you for being part of this movement. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. And next from Breckenridge Capital Advisors, I would like to welcome to the microphone Kelly White.
Hi, everyone. I want to start by thanking the committee for putting on this wonderful event tonight. We had a colleague that was coming, and he sends all of his well wishes to all the recipients. He last minute couldn't come. I'm Kelly White, Director of Corporate Sustainability at Breckenridge Capital Advisors. We are a fixed income asset manager in Boston. And we are here as a supporter of the REAL program, the recipient of the Excellence in Literacy Leadership Award. And so just giving a little insight into why we support them. At Breckenridge, we invest in municipal bonds, so essentially communities. And so when we were looking to connect our philanthropy efforts to a partner, we wanted to do so with a partner that already had a strong foundation within their own community. And after interviewing several partners all across greater Boston, we really decided that we wanted to focus on Lynn. We appreciated the history of Lynn, and we really appreciated kind of the vibrant, diverse community of hardworking people here. And we were really drawn to Lynn because of all the revitalization efforts that were happening. With the city, mass development, beyond walls, with all the beautiful murals around town, the downtown Lynn Cultural District, among others. And then more specifically, we wanted to support the REAL program and their mission to bring literacy to the city and beyond. We really felt like the message of accessible literacy was a really powerful one, knowing that literacy is the baseline for a successful life, but also just day-to-day activities like going to the grocery store, the doctor, or going to talk to your child's teacher in school. And so we're particularly impressed with the REAL's whole family approach and really the whole community approach to literacy, not just being an after-school program or before home program for the students, but ESL language classes for the parents. And then also bringing books to the city of Lynn through their Little Free Library initiative. A couple of my colleagues are here with me tonight, and we were just out before the event filling out the libraries across the city, and those books are flying off the shelf. So it talks about how important this need for literacy is across the city, and how impressive that effort is by the REAL program. So we're really proud to see Jan and the volunteers of the REAL program and the REAL program receive this award tonight. And it's incredibly well deserved, and we know that they will continue to impress us all with elevating literacy and building community within the city of Lynn. So congratulations to them and all of the other award recipients tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you again to our sponsors, and you'll hear me anytime I get the opportunity tonight to continually recognize and thank our sponsors, as well as vendors. Please eat, drink, be merry while you are here this evening. It takes a lot to put this program together, but we want to also support the people that help us run this actual event. So thank you so much. I next have the honor of introducing Dr. William Heinemann, who is the president of North Shore Community College. I love that somebody inserted this. So thank you, Gina, because I am an alumni of North Shore Community College. I'm an alumni of all Lynn schools as well, so let's check out this for me. So I would just like to share a few words about Dr. Heinemann. He was the unanimous choice of the North Shore Community College Boards of Trustees to become the college's 5th president. Dr. Heinemann is deeply familiar with Massachusetts' public higher education system and its participants, having amassed a decades-long record of successive leadership and service. He holds, and please correct me if I get any of this wrong, he holds a doctorate in education from the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and MPP from the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University, and a BA in history, graduated magna cum laude with distinction from the University of Rochester, New York. In addition, Dr. Heinemann participated in the Aspen Presidential Fellowship for Community College Leadership, the American Association of Community Colleges Future Leaders Institute, and the Massachusetts Community College Leadership Academy. North Shore Community College Board of Trustees, I have a low battery, Dr. J.D. LaRocque said, quote, Dr. Heinemann is already known as one of the finest academic leaders in the Massachusetts public higher education system, but his analytical and business acumen impressed us as well. He understands that American higher education is facing immense pressures, and that to thrive, all colleges, including North Shore Community College, will need to innovate. I would love to welcome to the microphone Dr. William Heinemann.
Thank you for that very generous and very lengthy introduction. I'm not sure I'll be able to live up to it. So I brought an artifact tonight because we're in a museum and it seemed like the appropriate thing to do. And I'll just warn you that this artifact has no meaning to anybody in the world except for me. So here it is. This is the book that hooked me on reading approximately 50 years ago. It is the Golden Book History of the United States, Volume 3, The Age of Revolution, and it tells the story of the American Revolution. It's a book that was in my house when I was about 7 years old, and the authors of this book were clever in trying to attract potential young readers such as myself. The book is full of very dramatic illustrations that would interest young people, and the one that caught my eye was a picture of a confrontation going on between a bunch of young boys in Boston and the British governor at that time, before the revolution started, General Thomas Gage. And I really wanted to know what was going on there. What were they arguing about? So I took the book to my older brother and I said, what's going on here? Can you read this to me? And he said to me, no. I said, you're in second grade. You can read that. And I said, what, like the whole book? I said, yes. I said, this book is long. It has a lot of words. The words are big. He said, sorry. So I really wanted to know what was going on there in that picture, so I started to read it. And probably after 2 or 3 days, I'd read the whole book. And I was astonished. And I started to realize if I can read this book, I can read other books, longer books, books about other topics. And so I was open to a world that I didn't really know existed. And, you know, for me, that was a powerful start to the story of literacy in my life. Now, I don't keep many of my childhood books, but this one, as I said, is meaningful to me. However, I don't keep it because it's a quality book. It was copyright 1963, and it's a 1963 sort of elementary school version of American history. And it leaves out a lot of stuff. There's a fair amount of factual stuff in here, but it leaves out so much. For instance, the Native American peoples were intricate to this battle that was going on between British and Americans, but they barely show up in the book. And the word slavery does not show up at all, even though there's a long section on the war in the southern colonies, and even though there's a rather obvious contradiction between a revolution fought in the name of freedom in the practice of slavery by the people who were carrying out the revolution, right? So now I think you all know that right now in the United States, we have some pitched battles going on in state legislatures about this very question of what should students, children, be able to read and learn, especially about topics that can be difficult, that maybe are the uglier aspects of our history and our current society. And that debate is not just about what they can read, but also when they're allowed to understand it, and also how it's being taught. I can't think of a better example of the importance of literacy than that battle going on right now. When I started to read other books beyond this one, I started to get the fuller story. I started to understand that there was less pleasant aspects of American history, racism being an obvious example. So this argument that we're having right now helps to connect me to what I learned when I started reading those other books. I learned that most political leaders throughout most of human history have not encouraged literacy. They figured out pretty quickly an educated population will demand more of us. And so I learned that there's a direct connection between literacy and democracy and the ideals behind democracy. And that in most struggles for democracy, the growth of literacy has been a key factor in that growth. There's a lot of educational philosophers out there that talk about this connection, and books have been written about the importance of an educated population in democracy and freedom. So never doubt the work that you're doing is important. It's important, of course, for individual students and in their own lives, but the entire community is affected by our literacy rates. Now, it's important to recognize literacy rates are not a guarantee of democracy. You might be surprised to learn that the European country with the highest literacy rates in the early 1930s was Germany. That's about the time the Nazi Party was taking over in Germany. So literacy doesn't guarantee us democracy, but it's the first crucial step on the way. The next crucial step is our educational institutions. It's not literacy that is the crucial step, but what we do with our literacy that tells us what will happen in our society. North Shore Community College is committed to the type of education that I think our educational institutions owe to society and our children. And that's one that underlines and teaches and has students practice the practice of questioning. Questioning is the crucial piece of the puzzle. If we can't question why we had slavery in American history, or if we can't question current differences and outcomes by race in terms of economic wealth or health outcomes in the United States, then how can we hope to make them better? So questioning is really the crucial piece, and some of those educational philosophers would argue that questioning should go directly to questions about the systems that we operate in. Not everybody likes that idea of education because it's challenging to systems to have questions asked about it. And the whole idea of questioning is challenging to all of us, because if it's meaningful, not only do I get to question what you think, but you get to question right back at me, right? And not only Jan and I agree about everything, but the person who I disagree with most strongly in the world has to get that same right, or it doesn't really work, right? So schools need to be a place where we can teach children to do that in a way that's respectful, that has respect for facts, and that teaches students that there's value in keeping an open mind and listening to people who you disagree with. North Shore Community College endeavors to be that kind of institution. People of Lynn have the great good fortune of having access to lots of great educational institutions, all the way from preschool up into the college ranks. My good friend Deborah Jarrow's right back there in Lynn Public Schools, great partner for North Shore, and I know is doing that same good work that we're all doing together. There's roughly 50,000 alums out there of North Shore Community College since it opened in 1965. 90% of them live, work, and contribute to their communities here on the North Shore. We're your college, and we're here for you, including in these great big cosmic important things like supporting democracy, but also in those equally important mundane things like making sure we train students well for the world they're living in now, economically. So North Shore is a sponsor of this event tonight because we recognize the crucial, crucial work that our award winners are doing in the cause of literacy. We applaud you for that work, and we're proud to partner with you as part of that chain of educational institutions that do this good work of teaching students what to do with their literacy. So I want to congratulate our award winners tonight, and thank you all for the great work you're doing.
Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Natasha Madri, and I am currently on this wonderful board of these amazing, wonderful women, and I personally love that it's all powerful women. I just wanted to take a moment to thank our elected officials who took the time out of their busy, busy schedules to be here with us tonight. We really appreciate your time. First, we have Sean Reed, who's here on behalf of Brendan Crichton, who's our state senator. Then we have Paul Tucker, who's a state rep and a candidate for Essex District Attorney. We have Eric Dugan, who's on the school committee. Lenny Pena, who's also on the school committee. Kevin Coppinger, who is the Essex County Sheriff. Brian Field, he is our counselor at large. Brian Castellanos, also on the school committee. Our mayor, Jared Nicholson. Dan Cahill, also our state rep. And last but certainly never least, Coco Allenson.
Thank you, Natasha. All right, so now we're on to our official award ceremony. And I would like to introduce Saratin to come give the award to the REAL program.
Okay. That was a bit unexpected, but great. I'm happy and honored to introduce Jan Plorde from the REAL program. So we have this lengthy process of selecting an award recipient for both individual leaders and the organization which receives the proceeds of that we raise today. And Jan, I think, has applied the most. And I think that there were just different things going on at the time because we have a lot of excellent organizations that actually apply to get this award. But I am honored and happy. The work that Jan does, I mean, she has done so much, not only for literacy, but with the real program. And, you know, we're just honored to have her here, and we're honored that she's one of our recipients. So congratulations, Jan. The committee is for you all to spread the word about the work that the real program does, and Jan and her team. And really, I mean, we need to highlight her work. We need to, this is one of the organizations that's like underrated. The work they do is unbelievable, amazing in the North Shore. So we are, again, honored. And Diana is going to come up and give you the award.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. See how nice and soft-spoken she is? Every day on the phone, Jan, where are you? It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Hello, so our next presenter is no stranger to our program. One of our last year's Ella recipients, Coco Allenson.
Thank you, Gina. When everyone was praising all the ladies here, me and Lenny Pena are trying to squeeze ourselves so they could praise us as well. Jan, it's a big honor and we're so proud of you. 5 years ago, I went home from work and I could not enter my house because there's piles of books there. And my husband Peter and Jan have been working really, really hard. I think they're BFFs for 500 years. And you know, Peter will be so proud to have you. And ladies, again, from the bottom of my heart, you gave me this award last year in the middle of my campaign as city councilor. I know I won as city councilor of Lynn because you honored me last year. So thank you. So it's just like Miss America, Miss Universe, you turn over the crown. So I have the task to turn over my crown to the next one. So bear with me. You see the selfie is so, I wrote this down because the selfie is really getting my attention. I cannot focus. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce a very special person, an outstanding citizen of this city, Princess Guwor-Vonyeegar. As her name dictates, is a royalty indeed, work and in her own right. Princess is the founder and executive director of the Kumba Foundation. When I first met Princess, this is way back in 2018, we were introduced by a mutual friend. I soon found out that after finding her on Facebook, that we have a lot of things in common. We're both immigrants. We're both passionate with community work. We love to volunteer and help whatever we can in both of our native countries of Liberia and the Philippines, and on our adopted country of America. But the most important similarity we're both involved with, providing outreach through education in our own countries. From that moment on, we never stopped chatting and talking and sharing ideas and best practices. The Kumba Foundation is a nonprofit organization focused on the educational success of the youth in Massachusetts and Liberia. This organization strives to ensure that youth in Massachusetts and Liberia are provided with school supplies through providing these materials. Princess is not here tonight. She is in Liberia. She's now in Africa, opening a school in her native country. Her long-awaited project, and I'm so happy for her. This is the answer to her long-awaited dream, but I know her work is not over. She still has a lot of plans for her foundation. Foundation. But for now, let's celebrate Princess, and please help me welcome Princess to be represented by her uncle, Sa Tumba. Let's give him a round. Where's the trophy?
Would you like to say it?
Hello, everybody. Wow. I will try by all means not to shed tears. And Princess Uncle Satamba receiving this award on her behalf and knowing where we came from. I came to America first with my sister, and then later on, Princess and the brother who was here earlier came after us. And when Princess got in this country, you know, she was a little bit older to start school to where her grade level could have been. So they had to put her into a higher grade when in Liberia, she was in a lower grade. So it was a challenge for her to read. Can you imagine being in the second grade at age 9, and then you come to America, they have to put you in the 5th grade. You know, so it was a challenge. But Princess strived. She's I will call her my little girl that strives. She will come home. Uncle, I want to do this. Where can I go to do this? Take me to the library. You'll do this for me. Help us, my sisters, my other brothers. She was so determined. And when Princess graduated and went to college, she came back to Lynn, and she called me one time and said, Uncle, guess what? I was like, what? I'm going to be a teacher at the elementary school that I attended. You went to Marshall's, and now here are you going to Marshall to be a teacher. Which parent would not jump for joy? We were very excited. And unfortunately, my sister that we came here together met her untimely death, who is Princess' mother. And 3 years ago, Princess said to me, Uncle, I want to honor Mom. I'm like, how do you want to do it? Princess said, I want to build a foundation and name that foundation after her. I said, okay, that's a good thing. That's my sister. You want to build a foundation, I will be behind you like I've been your cheerleader all along. So I said, what's the name of the foundation? That's where the Kumba Foundation came about. That's Princess' mother name, Kumba Foundation. In 2019, we were making a trip to Liberia for our sister, my sister that died, the mother, to have the memorial service in Liberia because she died in Lynn. And Princess said, Uncle, before I go to Liberia, I want to launch a program to collect books, baptize, and whatever I can lay my hands on to bring it to Liberia. Princess was able to collect more than 1,000 book bags. Pencil, books, reading books, and then we went to Liberia. She was going from school to school to school, giving books to all the underprivileged children. The dream of 7 was alive. From that time on, Princess has been raising money, buying stuff, sending to Liberia to various schools, raising stuff for the city, for some of the schools in the city here, and she is unstoppable with the goal that she had. So I want to take this time and thank the city of Lynn. It's an honor to be in the presence of the city mayor and the school superintendent and the school district. We have a lot of Liberian children that come in this country. Some of them can barely speak English. The literacy programs, the services that you guys provide to our children that come from Liberia and other African countries, I want to say thank you. Because these children, our children, come in this country wherein the level of education coming from Liberia or other African countries is not even close to what is in this country. They come in a new environment, culture difference, and then they go into school with kids that speak better English, comprehend better understanding of what been taught in class, and they sit in there trying to say, what got me in the class? I'm supposed to be in the 2nd grade, but I'm in the 5th or 6th grade, and I jump over 3 or 4 classes. It's difficult, but it works. The teachers in the cities, they do in these various schools. I want to say thank you. You're continuing doing what you guys doing. You're making life better for our children that come from Liberia and other African countries. I cannot thank you guys more. So keep up the good work. I'm so proud. My sister, Kumbak, I bet she's looking down on us today. I appreciate it.
My makeup, right? Everybody's a mess right now. But I want to highlight, I'm going to run a quick video that Princess sent us so you can see her and hear her own words as well. But I would be crazy not to mention how important these stories behind literacy are. I was just thinking about how I started my journey in literacy. My mom used to make me read her books while she was taking a bath. That was like my reading practice. But it's not as, some of these stories go way deeper. So the power of the stories behind literacy, I encourage you to share with somebody in this room why you support Celebrate Literacy Day, this event, the Real program, or share your literacy story with someone. So give me 1 second and we're gonna see if we can make this work. And thank God, by career, I'm a marketer, so if this does not work for us, I will be posting this on our Facebook page.
Guwor, the founder and CEO
of the Kumba Foundation Incorporated, which purpose is focused on the educational success of the youth in Liberia, West Africa. It's an honor to be recognized by the Celebrate Literacy Day of Lynn, Massachusetts. This award personally means a lot to me, being that I was raised in the city of Lynn practically my whole entire life. My family and I migrated from Liberia when I was just a little girl. At the time, a few of my family were already based in the city of Lynn. I went through the Lynn public school system. I met some amazing teachers that showed me acts of kindness that helped develop the individual that I am today. I'm very grateful to be part of such a diverse community. Growing up in the city of Lynn, I had a lot of friends from different backgrounds. I had my Hispanic friends, Cambodian friends, Asian friends, you name it. My friends from Africa, from Jamaica, Haiti. Lynn is such a diverse community, and there's a lot of positivity that comes out of the community itself that we overlooked, but I'm just very grateful to be a part of such a diverse community. Moving forward, unfortunately, I couldn't be there with you all to celebrate this amazing achievement. I'm currently in Liberia working on a project for the foundation. The project that the Kumba Foundation is working on is that we're working on building an elementary school within Liberia. But before I talk about that, I just want to give you all a brief background about education in Liberia. Liberia has one of the world's highest level of out-of-school children, with an estimated 15 to 20% of 6 through 14 years old who are not in class. Just over a third of preschoolers have access to early childhood learning programs, and only 15% of children complete primary education. Liberia has both public and private schools. There are also several schools run by religious groups. Majority of the schoolgoers go to public schools only because the privately run schools are very expensive. Problems encountered by the public schools is that the quality of teaching is not compared to the privately run schools. The teachers are unpaid, and so that teachers don't give much effort to do their job. However, right now the budget for education is improving slowly, but until the economy really gets better, the quality of education from the public school sectors would sure to increase too. The current school system of Liberia has 5 levels: the kindergarteners or pre-primary, the primary school, junior high school, senior high school, and college. The kindergartner level accepts enrollments from children aged 3 to 6 years old. At this level, kids are taught how to identify letters and learn the basic of counting. In the primary level, basic mathematics, science, and English are taught. Next to the primary level is the junior high school. In this level, subjects like algebra, chemistry, and geometry are introduced. The senior high school level is the last stage before entering college. Here, more advanced subjects from the junior high school level is taken up. Religious organizations also put up their own schools and give a high quality of education. The problem is that, however, the admission is limited to their members, so that's the only problem with the religious organizations. Moving forward to our project in Liberia, the elementary school is going to be called the Kumba Academy. The Kumba Academy will provide an environment where the students of Liberia develop academic skills, intellectual habits, and character traits necessary to maximize their potential throughout their life. We believe that education matters. We believe that no child should be forced to study outside or in a dangerous environment. With access to good education, children can escape poverty. Financial support for this project, together with your help, we can help build safe and secure classrooms so that children can focus on their learning and their future. Thanks and appreciation to the Celebrate Literacy Day for your generous donation towards our building fund for this project. We are very grateful for your generous donation. It means a lot to the organization and this project that we just started. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for everybody that's in the room. Once again, thank you so much
to the Celebrate Literacy Day of Lynn, Massachusetts for your generous donation. This donation will be used towards our building fund to help us reach our goal and to build our school within Liberia. As of right now, our budget is $500,000. It's a huge goal, and we strongly believe that we can accomplish it. But with your help towards this general donation is definitely going to help us move forward to create access to education within the education sector in Liberia. So thank you so much on behalf of the foundation and on behalf of the children in Liberia and Africa. We are very grateful for your generous donation.
I love hearing the stories of the children of the city of Lynn, and they're so successful. And a lot of the times we don't get the credit that we deserve in Lynn. A lot of the times that we always try to improve and make children's lives a lot better. And it's great to be in a room full of educators, because there are a lot of educators in this room. So I have the pleasure to announce our next Excellent in Literacy Leadership Award to a woman that I worked with at Connery School. Cindy and I met, I don't even remember the year, and I was a pre-K paraprofessional, and Cindy was our ESL teacher. And in Lynn, the pre-K children do not have access to ESL. I don't know if that's changing or not, but a few years back when I was at Connery, they weren't allowed or offered the services for ESL or EL. Depends, they change the letters every other year. So Cindy was gracious enough to pop in when she had 5 to 10 minutes of her own time into the pre-K classroom that I was working in with our teacher, Kimberly Higgins. And Cindy would come in and help us out, give us some projects to do with the kids, and give us the books that we needed to get, to help the kids. With the 90% of the children that we had, they didn't speak English. Here I am and Kim, we both are we're not bilingual, and Cindy was a great help to us, and she gave us that extra push that we needed, and I've never forgotten that. So I nominated Cindy this year for the award for the individual recipient because of all the work that she did with me at the Connery School and other teachers on her own time in between, where she could have taken a break or had prep time or did something. She always has gone above and beyond the call of duty. And this past, in 2020, the pandemic hit and kids were sent home. And they were sent home basically not knowing what their future would look like. Where would they, see their teachers again? How would we educate our children? How would we reach them? And I'm gonna let Cindy talk about that. So let me introduce our next recipient is Cynthia McCleary.
Thank you, Gina. So sweet. I am very humbled, let me tell you, to be here tonight, and amongst all of these people who are contributing to something that I am so close to my heart and I'm so passionate about, which is literacy for children. We've been through a lot these last few years, and our students have been through as much, if not even more, trying to figure out how they can connect to us and stay connected. And we all did everything we could to reach out, to be there, and to join Zooms, to put lessons together that were interactive, even though they couldn't touch them, to try to engage them, even though they were long distance. And that was challenging and fun and very rewarding. I remember setting up my little sewing room to read to kids so that they would still have someone reading to them, and then talk about what was happening in the story, which is what we do at school every day, right? Mm-hmm. But they were missing that time. And I just kept thinking, if my children were in that situation, how would I want an educator to respond? So that's what I did. I tried to do my best. I had the privilege of opening Connery Elementary School today with our full staff and our PD with Liz Dunnigan. And one of the things we ask our teachers is, why are you here? What is your moral imperative? You need to think about that because it's an important job. What you do makes a difference. And every time you interact with a child, you have the potential to change the future. And I truly believe that. And it's a privilege to be a teacher. They're privileged to have that opportunity. So we try our best, we make mistakes, we try again and again. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity and this award. Thank you, Gina.
Our next presenter is last year's recipient of our Untold Stories Award, Miss Donika Thurston.
So I had to keep this secret from Adriana. As the previous awardee, friend, and collaborator of what I consider to be a true, incredible, and inspiring community leader, I am proud to present the 2022 Untold Stories Award to Adriana Paz. A native of Cali, Colombia, mother, and proud Afro-Latina, Adriana Paz is particularly committed to continuously engaging and empowering the diverse members of our community. Adriana graduated from Salem State University with a bachelor's in history and pre-law and a paralegal certification from North Shore Community College. Adriana is passionate about advocating for equality in all personal, political, and professional platforms. Her current role as a contracts and supplier diversity specialist has provided her with a unique opportunity to advocate for the inclusion of diversely owned businesses in the procurement process. Adriana is the founder of multiple organizations, including Mutual Aid Lynn, a platform that provides avenues for the exchange of resources and services to the community, and founding member of the North Shore's Women of Color Association, a women empowerment group aimed at self and community development. Her most recent role as president of Prevent the Cycle, an organization committed to racial equity and systemic change in Lynn, has provided Adriana with a platform to demand a reimagining of Lynn's policing efforts and push city leaders to prioritize equity and social justice in all aspects of the city's governing policies. She is also vice president of the North Shore Juneteenth Association, an organization that promotes and highlights the achievements of Black people on the North Shore, and a board member of the North Shore CDC. Adriana also serves on the board of the Human Rights Commission, where she works to ensure that all Lynn is provided a voice. She continues to ensure that the City of Lynn's diverse residents are represented in all aspects of the decision-making process. And if you can believe it, she has other boards and committee appointments, including a board member of Las Marias and co-chair of the Lynn Racial Justice Coalition, working to create a more equitable Lynn. In addition to tonight's award, her recent achievements include Latinx Amplifier 2020 by Amplify Latinx, Inspirational Woman 2020 Award, of course, Outstanding Community Leader category, which was awarded by Latina Center Marias, Outstanding Latino 2021 by Spanish National Junior Honor Society, John S. Moreno Award, awarded by the Lynn Community Health Center, and most recently, Commonwealth Heroine of Class 2022. So without further ado, the most amazing
So I'm short. Hold on.
Pull it down.
Take it. There you go.
There it is.
Oh.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank Celebrate Literacy Committee for this award tonight. Thank you, Ms. Danica, for the introduction and the presentation. I didn't know, and of course we had to keep it a secret, otherwise, who knows, I would have been crying days before. I'm honored and humbled by this recognition, and I want to congratulate all of my fellow nominees tonight. Special shout out to Jan, and my phone, who is such an important, has such an important task of making reading accessibility a priority for our future leaders. I highlight her work because reading was the path to who I am today. When I was a child, my mother had to work tirelessly to provide for us children. A Colombian immigrant who came here like so many others, not knowing the language and customs, and with nothing in her pockets. She came here with the dream of a better life for her children, especially her favorite. While she worked, I had responsibilities at home, but it was through books that I was able to let my imagination fly. Through books, I was able to understand so much about the world around me, create beautiful pictures of the world outside of the concrete walls of Brooklyn, New York, where I lived at the time. But it also helped me understand that the world I was picturing that sometimes seemed so far away was possible right in the city that I lived. And that includes the city of Lynn. We would have to demand it over and over again, but it could happen. Because of books, I learned how to do that, and it set me on the path that has me here before you all. In order to do so, however, we as individuals and as a community had to be firm in who we are, and that whoever we are valuable and we should be heard. That is the core of what I try to do with my work here in Lynn. I try to elevate the stories that are not being told, elevate and empower the people whose stories and identities often are cast aside, and empower our community to stand up and advocate for themselves. Whether it's providing youth with the ability to design their outreach and voter education campaigns during election season, advocating for policies and programs that lift the needs of Black and Brown community members. There's so much to do, and I'm lucky that I do not have to do it alone. So in closing, I want to thank everyone who opened the doors for me, who believed in me, who trusted me enough to even lead in some of the projects that I'm leading in now. And I want to especially thank those who encourage me and serve as inspiration through your work. Many of you are here tonight, and I want to thank you. None of the work accomplished could be done without my partners in crime, without my community, and I thank you. Thank you.
You can take it. She doesn't need it. I don't think so.
So now I'm going to introduce our chair of our committee this year, Diana Moreno.
She got to put the camera down.
Oh, what a night. I wish I could sing because I was singing that song. Oh, what a night. Good evening, everyone. I am Diana Moreno. I'm the AVP Membership Development Manager for Metro Credit Union, and also the chair for Celebrate Literacy Day this year. I'm going to start, the stories that was said tonight. You know, sometimes we get all wrapped up in the work that we have to do. It is a lot of hours, a lot of work. And then at the end, it's like, wow, that's the reason why we do this. And not just, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but that's really what it's all about. It's really the difference that we're making. I really want, if you guys could just stand up, all of the committee members, stand up. I really want to thank all of you for your time. We all have jobs, we take care of people, and we did an amazing job sticking together, gelling together, and doing whatever huddle that came through, making it through, and having this amazing evening. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to thank once again everyone for taking the time to come out. For some of you, this is your first time coming out after the pandemic. I heard some people share that with me, and I am so thankful that you decided to come out for this occasion. So thank you for your time and for you for being here and supporting this worthy cause. Thank you to the workplace that I work, Metro Credit Union, for their philosophy of people helping people. That allows me to put my time to do just that and to build stronger communities. A special thank you to all the sponsors, donors, in-kind donors, and ticket holders. Without you, this initiative would not be possible. I want to thank the music, Sunil Gulab, and I'm sorry if I said your last name. Oh, thank you. Second or third year in a row with his amazing music. Thank you for the caterer, Bevan Baker. What an awesome last name to have, Baker, the caterer, huh? Perfect. Thank you for the photographer, Sam and Sammy with Tony Seaforth. So I have to say, throughout the 11 years of being part of Celebrate Literacy Day, I've been able to witness the unity, support, and the given hearts to the love of education like never before. The impact that has been made throughout the years has really been inspiring and amazing to be part of. Celebrate Literacy Day has helped many grassroots nonprofits throughout the years, from building a GD program from scratch, making park grounds that enforces literacy, mentoring and coaching students for a chance to further their education, making a new fun, welcoming space for children to advance in literacy, scholarship funding, to now what? To spreading little free libraries throughout Lynn, so no child or parent will be left behind without any literacy. Like, wow, talking about building stronger communities. I want to congratulate all the awardees, and I want to also congratulate all of you for being part of this great achievement. Thank you all for coming. Have a great night, and please come back next year.
Again, Coco Allenson. Other officials?
Before Coco, I just want to give this to Diana.
Sorry.
So we're just very grateful for the work that Diana has done. It hasn't been easy. She's gone above and beyond. She's been involved with the committee for the 11 years. It's not easy to put together an event like this and make it work out at the end. So on behalf of our entire committee, we want to give this to Diana as a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much for all your work and dedication.
We are also strong women.
Nice picture. Sure, yeah. Thank you.
I would like to call in all the